This week, we are going to go back to talking about autumn, which is the same exact thing, has the same meaning as fall. And we're going to be drawing a leaf. And just real quick, autumn, fall, one is one of the four seasons out of winter, spring, summer, and fall. And fall is your transition from summer to fall. Daylight comes shorter. Daylight becomes shorter. And the temperatures are cooler outside, quite a bit cooler actually. And fall and autumn started this year on September 22nd. The last day of fall will be December 21st. And then we will start spring. And also the angle of the sun in the sky changes. It's breezier outside. The wind blows a lot more. And if you've ever heard anybody talk about fall foliage, it's just a really fancy word meaning the plants or leaves from a tree that, are turning colors and kind of dying and falling off. Like the leaves change colors and they turn brown, red, or yellow, orange, whatever it is before they fall off of the tree during winter. And also, we're going to talk about zentangles, because we're going to section off different parts of our leaf, and in each section we're going to draw a different pattern, because zentangles are patterns put together, and no two of them can be right side by side. You can draw the same pattern over and over again, like here and here and here and here, but they couldn't be side by side, like here and here. You couldn't have this pattern here with this one. You couldn't have this pattern here, right here with this one. Also, you couldn't move this one down and have it right here or over here. They have to be, they cannot touch. They can't be right side by side. Now, they could be like across from each other, angled at the corners, but they cannot be right side by side, because it just looks like you made that whole section one big area of the same pattern. So we're only going to be using warm colors today, and our warm colors are red, orange, yellow, and brown. So we'll get started. And also, there's going to be a quick video, and it's going to talk about the chemical called chlorophyll that causes leaves to change to their actual natural color, because their natural color without the chlorophyll that is in them during the spring and summer that keeps them green is these warm colors, red, oranges, and yellows. And that's a very informational video that I will be attached in your lesson. So first, we're just going to start with a typical oak leaf shape. And your oak tree, which produces oak leaves, it's the one that drops acorns, even though we've got kind of a mushroom pattern here. But you could do acorns there instead, but because you can do whatever patterns you want. And the oak trees do, like I said, do drop acorns, and acorns are a big part of fall too, because it lets our animals know that it's time to start stocking up for winter. So first, we're going to start with our drawing of our oak tree, and you want to start with your stem, which is going to be right in the center. So you're just going to bring a kind of a line, a real short line, depending on how big your paper is, and then carry a line up your paper while slightly curving it just a little at the top to bring it to a point. It needs to come to a sharp point and then come back down, only leaving just a little bit of space in between the two lines. And you're going to bring it back to that very bottom line, the first one we drew, to connect it. Now for your oak leaf shape. You're just going to come out from your stem, because the stem is what we just drew. And you're going to draw a line that curves up and around and bring it back in, curve it up and around. Let's keep it going up, curve it back in, and it needs to be the size of your paper. So it just depends on the size of your paper, how big you need to draw this, and just curve it around, up, and then back in. And then once you get towards the top of that stem, you're just going to curve it around the top of that stem, but also let the very tip of it touch. And do the same thing on the other side. Just doing some really big curved lines. And bringing them in and then curving them back out. And continuing to do that. When you get towards the bottom, and try to line it up with that first line that's on the other side of your stem. If you need to, because you're using a pencil, you can draw it straight. Go ahead and draw it straight through. That way you can meet it back up to your other line. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we are going to draw lines to separate our leaf into different sections so that we can draw our zentangles on it. So, however many sections you want, and I will tell you, the more sections, the more patterns you have to come up with. So, you at least need 4 sections on each side. If you want to do more, that's entirely up to you. But like I said, you have to come up with that many more patterns. But you at least need 4. So you would need 1, 2, 3 lines. If you draw them with a pencil, you could draw them straight through and then go inside your stem and erase it. That way you could keep it straight across. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to use all warm colors, like I said up here, for our zentangles. And remember, the same 2 patterns cannot be side by side. First, I'm just going to color the inside of my stem. Now I'm going to color in my patterns. And here I just decided to do some wavy lines inside of these. Like I said, you can choose whatever patterns you want. I will have some examples of patterns for you to look at, and they will be called Zentangle images. I went out the lines with that. It'll be okay. Because our art is not perfect. I'm just going to come in here and draw some more wavy lines to add more detail. Kind of fill it in a little bit more. And here I'm actually going to go ahead and color in that background. And color in this background. So we don't have too much white space. I don't want too terribly much white space left on the paper. Because it doesn't say that fall leaves are white anywhere. Come in with brown. And draw this pattern. Just some lines. And you'd be able to go straight through, and you could go back and erase yours with pencil before you color it. And you don't have to use marker. It can be crayons, coloring pencils, whatever you have. Does not matter. Then I'm just going to come in the middle of those and color those in. Put some dots in the middle of those. And see, we already have 4 different sections, and we've only got 4 sections to go before we are completely finished with our zentangles. Oops. These are supposed to little circles. If you do decide that you want to try these patterns, you can choose whatever mixture of red, oranges, and yellow and brown. You don't have to look exactly the same as this that you want to. I missed 2 of them. Color that in. There's a multicolor one there. Oops, missed that one again. And we're almost there. It's just about him. And we had 8. Here's 2 more patterns filled in that are not right side by side. So next we'll go with our cross hatching pattern, almost, or checkerboard cross hatching, whichever way you wanted to explain it, because it's pretty much the same, whichever way you want to look at it. It's all when the lines overlap each other over and over again, like this, like a checkerboard pattern. And then you would just take, if you want to do this checkerboard pattern, take in every other one. And color it in. Oh. The same color. Whoops. That line got messed up. But it is fixable, because our brown's darker. So we can even show you how to fix it if you mess up. Brown's darker. We're going to come back in, go back over it. Easy peasy. It's fixed. So every other block, I'm just going to color those in with the opposite color. So therefore, when you're done, you have what appears to be a checkerboard pattern. And then if you wanted to do this one the same way, let's just do every other one. Pay more attention this time. Make sure we don't get 2 colors side by side, since we know how to fix it now. I don't even have to have 2 of them that are exactly the same. I can choose to come in and, instead of doing that one brown, do this one orange and red. Have an orange and red checkerboard pattern. And there we have our fall leaf using zentangles and nothing but warm colors. And then we have turkeys next week. And matter of fact, I don't think nope, you guys don't even have a turkey to do next week. You will be on Thanksgiving break. So you enjoy your Thanksgiving break, and we'll don't really know yet what we're going to be doing when we come back from Thanksgiving break, but we'll find out. Have a good Thanksgiving break.